This is population growth here, and this is supply and short term. So this, if you guys just look, this is people that have been born, obviously people that have died. The lower chart is really what I want you to focus on. Take a look at 2005, 2006, 2007. This is, in my opinion, what created the housing shortage that we're in today is right here. So if you look at here, and if you think about it, this is the same place we're heading now. So think of today. Lenders have pulled back. They're 50% loan to value. They're requiring 50% equity. This is when the banks were taking all that real estate back. It was mostly single family at the time. But regardless, they're loans that they're taking back. Banks aren't supposed to own real estate. During this period of time here, which is like 10 years, not a lot of lending, not a lot of new construction. This is a supply problem, and it started here during that period of time. We're still at a point where we're not even close to catching up. So there's anywhere from 3 to 5 million housing units short. So there should be no question that we are heading into an incredible time for us if you're in the real estate game, because you haven't quite seen anything yet, in my opinion. The real issue, nobody's really started new construction in about a year. So we had 6 projects. We took 4, put them on the shelf because I don't want to keep cash calling. And my rates are 8 or 9%. Home builders are doing that. Condo builders are doing that. Multifamily builders are doing that. Clearly, there's no office being built. Well, there might be from here or here. And you guys are still seeing these cranes. Those cranes and the big stuff you're seeing all over, those projects started 3 years ago. They were funded and started 3 years ago. Like the lag on this stuff, like even for us to deliver an apartment building, it's over a year. By the time you break ground, it's well over a year before you even open it. And then it's another year or plus to fill it up. And, you're still building, for that second year. So it's a 2-year build at least. And the high rises are even worse. You're going to see the news talking about rents going down. You are, and you probably have, and you're going to see, Zillow and, Rent Cafe and Yardi and all these people. And in some cases, it's absolutely true. Things that started in 2022, 2021, they're hitting the market now. And what's going to happen is in 2026, which is not very far, it goes like this. If you're going to hold on to whatever you got, recapitalize it, figure it out, what we really need is supply. So these are the numbers from on the left here. This is the National Multi-Housing Council and the National Apartment Association. Now, these are just apartments. They say 4.3 million homes they need by 2035 to meet both future and existing demand of 600,000 units. That's what they're saying right now. On the right, it's the National Association of Home Builders, so single family, 4.4 million according to Fannie Mae, and 7.3 for the National Low Income Housing Coalition. Now, this is affordable housing studies. So these are all really good studies. The bottom line is, I don't really know what the what's the true number, but it's a lot. So we're very bullish on the market. This is 1 year, 2 years. It's 24 months. The population in the U.S. has not grown all that much. I showed you the graph. It's growing at a nominal rate. But what I really want you to pay attention to is the 1% or more category. Now, 1% is a lot if you measure, let's say, Texas or Florida. But you can see the population shifts just in 1 year. So take a look at the top graph. You can see how it's kind of moved. For example, Montana, went from green, to light green. So it's obviously moving the other way. So you can see people moving around. The only reason I want you to follow this is because this is precisely how you make money. This is it. Like, real estate is not that smart. It's like, if there's people, your real estate does all right. You know what I mean? That's it. If you just focus on where they're moving, whether it's for work or for retirement or whatever, you're going to be fine. This is North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Texas are kind of the big ones. There's a bunch of studies, U-Haul, North American Van Lines. They're all really good studies. If you guys don't get them, you should. Driver's licenses, Postal Service. These are things that these are documented. I've moved here. This is my new address, Postal Service. I've moved here, my new address, driver's license. One-way trips, U-Haul. One-way trips, North American Van Line. I don't know about you, but most people don't take one-way trips. These are one-way trips. Top states. Texas, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee. So same thing as the chart before. When you look at Texas percentage of growth, it's not that spectacular. Eliminate that. You need to look. Look how many people moved to Texas. Look how people, look at that. Look at that. That's just an incredible number. Why is this important? Every person that moves, they put pressure on the school system. They put pressure on the grocery stores. They put pressure on the doctor's offices, the hospitals, the rents, the multifamily market, the single family market. They even put pressure on the office market. So if you just focus on where people are going and then you buy in the markets on where they're at, there are some cities that are growing like crazy and others that aren't. So that's the next piece is you drill down to find out where they're going. This is important. These are capitalization rates. So if you guys might not know what a capitalization rate, it's essentially the rate between the net operating income, which is income minus expenses, divided in the property price. Cap rates are important. Not necessarily to buy off of always, but they're important to watch. Let's pick on multifamily. In 2021, the average cap rate was 3.82. So let's say I bought a property in 2021. It was $100 million, and the cap rate was 3.8. Now cap rates have gone to 5. What that basically means is that that same property with the same NOI is over 20% less in value. So now, if I'm the buyer of that exact same property and I'm using a 5% cap rate, I'm paying $80 million. So now let's go back to that $100 million project. Let's say you put $20 million down and $80 million in debt. Now the cap rates went up to 5. The property's worth 80. So the property is now worth the loan. The investors don't know that they don't have any equity in the property yet. That's where the market is. You can see it by category: retail, office, industrial. The reality is here is anybody who bought anything prior to 2023, it's 20 to 40% worth less. This is obviously being talked a lot about. $1 trillion of multifamily linked debt matures by 2028. Here it is. Is a government sponsored. Banks, CM, commercial mortgage backed, life companies, government sponsored. It's interesting that banks shed 60,000 jobs in 2023. 60,000. Now let's talk about buy something for 100 million, 20 million equity, 80 million debt. It's now worth 80. My loan matures. My property is worth the debt. My loans due. That's what people are facing. The lenders said, well, we have to size this loan back up at 70%, 60% loan to value. 60% of 80 is 48. That means I would have to write a check for $32 million to keep the property. That's what's going to happen this year and next. So as loans mature, the cap rates are up and interest rates are up. Values are down. Developers, owners, partnerships are going to have to face this. Do we keep it or do we do what we call jingle mail? We'll mail the keys back to the bank. And of course, there's all kinds of repercussions as a result of that. So this is happening. A loan document is a contract, has a beginning and an end. It's the only thing that can save this is going to be those interest rates and cap rates. This is right off the White House's website. Protecting renters, promote rental affordability, White House blueprint for renters' bill of rights, targets housing supply shortage with affordable housing plan. That's a good thing. Biden has a 500,000 unit plan over 10 years though. But it's still a plan. If this happens here, this would be good. Reduce barriers to build housing like restrictive and costly land use, expand financing for affordable and energy efficient. This would be good for our industry. Really, really, really good. So while we have a big supply drop-off, guys, I'm telling you, if you can just get through these next 24 months, we are going to have a massive shortage of housing that's going to hit like no one's ever seen. And if rates are low, and we have some of these tools here, and the government is helping us, it's going to be an incredible run. Because before things get built again, as you guys know, there's a lag too. You're going to see some serious distress. The people that are in the best positions here, that are paying attention to this stuff, they're going to do the best. And it is a great time, and as we all have heard Warren Buffett say, you see who's swimming naked when the tide goes out. And I believe, the tide is moving out. 2024 is going to exposed a lot more. And 2025 is going to be even worse unless there's something that goes on here, and it could, some of these things would be great for us, but